Hello guys, so in our pregnancy classes we've been talking a little bit about breathing, and I've had a few emails just to sort of see if we can have a recap for them, so I thought I'll do a little short video just on breathing. I know some of you have got the video to the class that we did, but just to save you having to scroll through, I thought we'd just do a breathing specific one. So these are just a few breathing techniques that might help you through the labour. It's nice to do with a birthing partner, but you can do it on your own if they pass out. You know, you've got to be able to cope on your own. So you can do it on your own for now if you want. But basically, we're going to start sitting nice and comfortably. That doesn't have to be like this. You sit wherever you like just to practice, on your ball, on a chair, wherever. So as long as you're nice and comfortable, relax your shoulders, and you're taking your hands right down low into the lowest part of your tummy, so below your belly button if you can. Now, if you've got your partner with you, get them to pop their hands on your lower back. Because not only is it quite nice to feel that sort of heat there, it's also a good indicator to you as to where to take that breath. So you're thinking about taking the breath into that lower back or into your lower torso. So relax the shoulders. At the beginning of a surge or a contraction, you're going to take some nice deep relaxation breaths or de-stress breaths, okay? And these are going to be at your own count, but we're going to try it today, breathing in over a count of 4 and breathing out over a count of 6, okay? If you breathe a little bit deeper or a little bit more shallow than that, then you adapt it, okay, to where you feel more comfortable. So we're going to start with a 4 and a 6. So our out breath is always a couple of beats longer than our in breath. That's just going to really slow the heart rate and get that oxygen, those oxygen levels up. So shall we? Relax. Here we go. So start of a contraction. It's starting to take hold. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it again. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax your shoulders in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in down here, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do one more. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just rest it. Okay, so if you think you can go in for 6 and out for 8, go for it. The key is trying to get your exhale to last 2, maybe 3, but 2 seconds longer than your inhale. All right, that will really start to relax and release tension. It also gives you a nice focus, all right? So at the beginning of those contractions or surges, I want you to be breathing all the way down here into your partner's hands, into your hands. If you can then, when this contraction starts to take hold of your uterus, you are going to slide your hands up to here, or your partner is. This is just for practice. Obviously in the actual day, you're not going to be sat up here, but you might feel like that's what you want to do to shift your focus. But your hands are going to be on your ribs. You're going to imagine your rib cage is an accordion. Okay, the breath will come higher because it won't go all the way down here, and the breath will come slightly wider. It's almost like our Pilates lateral breathing. You still need to breathe, but take it slightly higher, slightly wider, slightly shallower. So you can do this with me. Partners on the rib cage, hands on the rib cage, or hands on your own rib cage, shoulders deep. Here we go. One more, and don't pass out on me. All right, so if you're starting to feel a bit dizzy and queasy, just breathe normally. But that is really to try and focus the breath slightly higher whilst this is doing its contracting or surging, okay? Now your final breath, I would say either a top of a contraction, or if you're going into a transitional phase, and your transitional phase is very close to giving birth, all right? So if you're getting to that point, transitional is when baby transitions into the right position to be birthed, okay, or born. If you are in that transitional phase, baby's getting into position but not quite there yet, and your midwife's telling you just to hold off for a second, you're nearly there, you might feel the urge to bear down, but you might not want to bear down then and there because baby just needs a little bit more time to get into that position. So just to avoid any issues, all right, and I'm talking tears and things like that, by pushing baby up when they're not ready, we're going to try and avoid the urge to bear down, or we're going to use these breaths at the top of the contraction when you're at the peak, just to take 2 little breaths in, 2 little breaths out. So you're not going to be using these deep pushing breaths or this diaphragm breathing, okay? So what I want you to do, and I'll show you first, is so you breathe in for 2 on the he, and you breathe out for 2 on the who, okay? Don't pass out on me. Don't hyperventilate, but that's more, don't do that, okay? 2 little breaths in, 2 little breaths out. Try and stay relaxed. Let's do it together. Here we go. Just relax there. So you shouldn't feel anything pushing down. When you do your very deep breathing, you might feel that pelvic floor having a little push. Because your diaphragm's pushing down, your pelvic floor will get that little bit of pressure on it. But as you're going, it shouldn't be putting that much pressure down here. So it helps you resist that urge to push. Now, obviously on the day, your body will do what it needs to do, and everybody is different. But this is a nice way of thinking or practicing your coping mechanisms. If you want to take yourself off somewhere else, and you want to think about something else, and you want to shift your focus. So it's nice to practice just so you can stay in control a little bit of something that might take you somewhere out of your control. So it's almost like we're going into a manual mode instead of just letting an automatic mode kick in. Only if it's comfortable. Everyone's different with their breathing, so just do what works for you. But there's just a few little tips and hints there that goes through from your contraction or your surge start of it, to the middle of it, to the peak of it, into your transitional stage. And there's a couple of other things, but I'll give them to you in the class again. If you want to email me, or if you want to ask me any questions, or ring me, do. And if you want a new birthing partner, I'm here. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that helps, and I will see you all in class. Thank you, guys.